As many of you know, the Unity engine is in fact too substantial.
Yep. So there we go. And then we come back here. Sorry about that, guys. And I'm going to reset my tablet here. Check. What's up, Hop? Sorry about that, guys. New World has always crashed Streamlabs every single time it loads. I forgot about this. Sorry about that. It's just another example of the billionaire software despot stealing from us. Sorry. Can't do anything about that.
Substantial software components, Unity editor, Unity run.
Is New World Unity? No, New World is, what engine is New World? Because I don't want to be a hypocrite here. What engine is New World? Oh, please don't say Unity. Azoth engine. Very good. Okay, so
runtime. The Unity runtime is code.
We back. Hells yeah, what's up?
Made with Unity games work at scale with billions of monthly downloads. So we are introducing a Unity runtime fee.
Unity runtime fee, which is like every time you do a runtime that involves Unity, it doesn't even have to involve the game company. The game company has to pay a runtime fee.
That is based upon each time a qualifying game is downloaded to an end user. So again, let's look at their thresholds for revenue. Games qualify for the fee if two criteria have been met. The game has passed a minimum revenue threshold in the last 12 months, and the game has passed a minimum lifetime install count. So from the day you launch...
Oh man, they really thought about this stuff too. They had the lawyers draw it up for a couple of months and agonize over it. They were fixing to cut the ties, pull the cord, bail out of Unity, steal the money, and run. And I full-blown really believe that is a good analogy of it, yeah. Because at no point could they ever recover from this. They could roll it back, but no one's ever going to trust them ever again.
A game till the end of time, they're calculating that number.
No one's gonna trust them ever again, and it's been like 3 days of this now, which pretty much already probably killed some companies, and that's crazy. Why would they do this?
We set high revenue and game install thresholds.
Why would they? Like it's almost as if like it was like at the end of the Trump presidency when you could tell he didn't want to be president anymore, so he was like actively fucking tanking himself. I don't think Unity wanted to be Unity anymore, so they just decided to fuck the entire world for like 3 days, get banned by everybody, and they had the lawyers draw it up and everything, and they decided to say goodbye to the world. I think it's like it's like a form of like corporamental suicide in a way, and it's entirely on purpose, and it's entirely because of money, and we don't know what it is, and we don't know why they did it. And for 20 years Unity had a very good name, and now we don't know why they committed career seppuku, and it's like some kind of corpo logic thing out of fucking, you guys remember Cowboy Bebop, right? It's like some kind of corpo logic thing with like in the background with scumbag syndicate fucking lawyers and assassins and shit, and we don't know what, we don't know what that is, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, so MJ. I will think about it.
Impacting those who have yet to find scale. So here they've actually...
I have an issue. Like we can pull... I don't know. This is kind of personal, and I think it's bad form. So I'm not going to show his conversation on chat and like on the stream, you know. But I can pull the comments that MJ has made, and most of them are negative. So I mean, like, I'm sorry, but... And that's the problem. Like I am actually very sort of against it. You know what I'm saying? So like Aquinas, I'm gonna give him another chance on your I'm gonna need his actual fucking No, MJ is a friend, and I've known him for a long time now. I remember who MJR Target is. Uh No, I am absolutely going to unban MJR Target. It just took me a long time to place the name. That's the problem. Do you understand? It wasn't that I don't like him or that his comments were negative. It's that I couldn't remember who he is. You understand how scary that is? When you're Batman and you're Bruce Wayne, right? It's kind of, streamers are kind of like that. It's like when you're Batman and you're Bruce Wayne and you have villains out there in Gotham City that are out there to kill you, and you can't remember who the names are, it scares you. But I remember very well now who MJR Target is. MJR Target is one of the most, well, I would say the most skilled person I've ever seen play Final Fantasy. No, not the most skilled, but one of the top 5 most skilled Final Fantasy 11 players I've ever met. Is does that sound? MJ Rip Shots. No. MJ Rip Shots. Yeah. Okay. Well, Aquinas, I'm gonna assume I made a mistake, and we'll just see. I'm gonna err on the side of being nice. I don't usually do unbans, and usually, like, yeah. So that's the other thing. I'll need his full name, and I don't know if I can pull it. Let me see. No, it's not coming up in the address book, so because he's banned. So this is a process that will take some time. So we will watch the video. We'll finish the video here, and I will fix my admin ministerial problems. No, see if MJ. Yeah, so I don't know MJ Rip Shots, and that's the problem. And if I banned him, it was because I felt he was. What I do remember is I remember banning him for being negative. So, and that I do remember. I remember banning him for being negative. And so this is like, that's the problem I have here is the name doesn't mean anything to me. He doesn't come from one of my gaming communities, and I remember banning him for negativity. So that's what we're running off here. That's the action I'm going to take. And it sucks because I'm under attack by somebody. And right now, like for instance, right now, I'm going to go kick 2 dummies. Seriously, right now I'm kicking 2 dummies. You know what I'm saying? As I speak, and you begin to understand the attacks I'm under and why I'm so nervous. So if we can get his full name somehow, I'll have to pull this. I'll have to pull this, but we can do this. I'll do this for him because it's my error. I know it's my error, and I'm terribly sorry. Coming back to the video that I just watched. Not the Death of Unity, but this one.
Here they've actually detailed Unity Personal and Unity Plus.
I will go back and I will remedy. Give me just a second.
$200,000 or more in the last 12 months.
And I'm sorry about this.
And have had at least 200,000 lifetime game installs. And then, of course, if you're a pro and enterprise user, then you have a threshold of $1 million USD in the last 12 months and 1 million lifetime game installs. So this is probably run by big companies and small businesses that are going to be big companies. Personal is obviously the independent game developer, okay, just posting their project on Steam. So this actually is kind of wild. You might think those thresholds are crazy. So here's actually the founder, Gary Newman of Face Punch Studios. You might recognize them as the developers behind Gary's Mod and Rust, okay? So right here, best known for Gary's Mod and Rust, 2 popular games. So here he writes, I was wrong. This is how fees are calculated because initially he said Unity wants to pay them $200,000 a month. Lifetime, we would have paid them $410,000 or more, around $40K a year. last month, based on all of these, installs and whatnot, they would have cost $2,517. And while this isn't much, here's stuff that they don't like. Unity can just start charging us a tax per install. They can do this unilaterally. They can charge whatever they want. They can install tracking to our game. Interesting point. And of course, can you trust their tracking? Unity is a bunch of scumbags. For me to trust them, even professionally, takes a level of disbelief that I could probably chalk towards believing in the flat fucking earth, believing in aliens, but never believing...
Okay, just briefly, Hopkins, you have been reinstated.
The greedy game company run by a greedy CEO known as John Risatello, okay, who currently is CEO at Unity Technologies. John Risatello once famously said, what if Battlefield players could pay $1 per reload? Okay, so during a transcript from a 2011 stockholder meeting, Xbox 360 Achievements discovered the following comments. When you are 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your magazine, he says clip, we ask you for $1 to reload. Were you really not that price sensitive at that point in...
Should be okay. Yes. So we come here and we say /unban MJ rip shots. Okay, and there's the MJ rip shots situation remedied. I am terribly sorry. If I purge again, you guys, it's a process. I'm under attack constantly, and I'm sorry if I purge you. I will bring you back. I'll do my best to bring you back if I purge you, and I'll do my best to try to remember. But it's constant attack, and it's unfortunate. It makes it very difficult for me to remember who's who and all this. So,
in time, this dude is the
like I got brain damage. I don't have a good memory, and it's very difficult to keep many internet names in my skull, so I have a weakness when it comes to this, and I will fess up to it right on stream. It's difficult for me to remember all the names. I'm honestly, I've never been able to remember names in real life either. Like for instance, one time after I'd been dating a girl, a year into the relationship, she gets this funny look on her face, and she says, put your hand over your eyes. And I was like, okay. And she was like, what color are my eyes? And I was like, brown? And she was like, no. And she wasn't mad about this, but you get an idea of how bad my memory actually is off that anecdote. I couldn't remember the color of my girlfriend's eyes, much less someone's name. And you begin to get why I have a weakness around this. It's brain damage.
That the moment you walk into a public...
So, yeah, there you go. I couldn't remember, and I've also got Asperger's, and I don't look people in the eyes either. So I honestly didn't know the girl that and I loved her to death. I'm just saying, I'm an odd guy. I have certain problems and issues with my brain, and it's hard to get them across properly. You know what I'm saying? We understand, don't we? Yeah. All right,
He's
sweet.
Out there in front of the stall with a nice roll of Charmin Super Ultra, soft. And he's like, you want to pay $10?
You gonna take a shit?
Clean the piss. $10 per roll. He's the dude that takes advantage of you. This is an actual scumbag CEO. And this is where I kind of wish that if you're the CEO of the company, especially if you're in game development, I really wish it was ran by gamers. This guy doesn't seem like gamers. This guy seems like an actual proper to God
corpo asshole.
Full on. No jokes, scumbag.
Yeah, corpo scumbag asshole. Yep.
And that's the best way to describe this guy as a
It's a heartless... I mean, wouldn't be surprised if he had passed the bar.
Person. If Bobby Kotick and this guy had a face-off...
Yeah, which one would win? This guy.
Between who could be the most evil game...
No, Kotick wins.
CEO.
Kotick wins. Cockdick the devil. Cockdick the devil. No, 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 no. No, no. Go away.
That would be a battle of the ages.
God damn it. I want to see a picture of Bobby Kotick drawn as the devil.
Okay, that would be like a serious heavyweight title championship to witness. So, looking back into Unity, this is how much they charge. This is how they calculate.
And all I get is like BBC, like Cockdick the devil, and all I get is BBC. So fucked up. The internet is so fucked up. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I didn't mean that to happen. I'm just,
So if you cross the illegibility,
like, I didn't go look. I mean, the word cocktick in and of itself is not offensive if it's a play on someone's name, you know. I mean, that's what they call him. His name is Cockdick. His name is Bobby Cockdick. So I went looking for a picture of Cockdick the devil, which would be a perfect meme. A perfect meme. I don't make memes, but I mean...
Fee calculation is like this. Unity Personal goes like... So new installs per month, right? This is standard rate if thresholds are met. If you're on the personal package...
You ever had that moment where you're like, oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Whip. Like inside, gotten pretty good at it. My reflexes are pretty good. Wing shing, and I'm just like X'd out. You know, you ever had that? Yeah, good thing I didn't.
20 cents per install. Okay. Now on the enterprise side, they charge you.
Well, at least hopefully I made some people laugh.
125 cents.
You go looking for Bobby Cockdick the devil, and you get BBC
per install. Okay.
Rule 34.
If you buy the higher tier straight up. Now, for 1 to even 1 million new installs per month, it's a flat rate of 20 cents.
20 cents an install. Nobody pays that for any install, much less fucking Unity. Nobody pays 20 cents extra charge up fee. I mean, does Steam charge a fucking install fee? Let's go. I mean, I guess it's an interesting question, right? Okay, does Steam charge a tiny install fee on every game? Because I'm fairly sure they do, right? Yeah, does Steam add like $1 to each download or whatever? So does the developer say, oh, Steam, you can have this for $48.99 and you can sell each copy for $1 or whatever? I don't know what it is. Yes, this is true. What percentage... I love this, by the way. I love this, right? What percentage of America is Chinese? I love this. I love this so much. Watch this. 23.74%. Yes, if you weren't aware. Yes, if you were not aware. Since like the 1960s, 1/4 of this country is Chinese. Yeah. If you were not aware. I am proud of my fellow Americans. I support everyone and everything that they are. I love their communities. I love their food. Love their culture. Love their music. Love their television. Love everything that there is to love about China and the Chinese people. I love that 1/4 of America, the land that I love, is Chinese, and I love and welcome my Chinese brothers, sisters from another mother, brothers, sisters, whatever, from another mother. And if you weren't aware of it, since the 1960s, the Chinese have socially run this country, yes, and I am very proud of this fact. Xenophobia is not welcome on the channel. Please do not engage in it again, etc., etc.
If you're a brand new personal Unity developer. And of course, if you buy the Pro package or the Enterprise package,
percentages always kind of get right wingers pretty hard. You can just nail one like, yeah, if this is something that you think is the news, no, the rest of us who live in reality actually hang out with the quarter of America that is Chinese. It actually have Chinese friends, many Chinese friends, you know what I'm saying? And beloved brothers and sisters and stuff, and are just totally actually connected to reality, which is that 1/4 of all of America is Chinese, yeah. And what's wrong with that? It's a very good thing.
then it starts to get cheaper. So after 1 million users, enterprise accounts.
I love this. You can just drop statistics to just slaughter Connies all the time. It's actually Connie can't stand real statistics. It actually kind of breaks a lot of their arguments. It's kind of funny. No, Hop. 25% of America is Chinese. It's not the Chinese government. It's the fact that 1 in 4 of us is Chinese. Now, whether the government wants us or not, like, you know, it's just the fact that 1 in 4 of us are Chinese. There's going to be some social and political effect. There's going to be some socioeconomic effect to having 1/4 of America being Chinese. And it's good. It is a good thing. We are the melting pot. And I don't believe the Chinese government is infiltrating America. Is the Chinese government, you know, infiltrating America? And we'll go follow the scary, xenophobic, right-wing, kind of red pill, tribalist, low IQ premise. Nobody actually thinks this except Fox News. And we'll sort by the views, and I mean, I'm terribly sorry, but
no one knew exactly what it was when it first appeared in the skies above Montana. It was nearly as tall as the Statue of Liberty. The early, confused reports said it looked almost like a second moon. In short order, of course, we learned what it really was: a massive Chinese spy balloon.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. We do that to them. Okay, I'm gonna play you guys a video. Who is this? It was Harris, right? Harris, whatever his name is. Was it Johnny Harris, right? So I'm gonna play a video about what we're actually talking about, which is so far from what you said, Hop, that it's like literally like you're talking about Pez candy, and we're off on pink elephants or something. What you are talking about has been a reality for like 100 years. And it's cables underneath the countries. And no, sure, the Chinese can run spy balloons, and America can run spy balloons and satellites, and we got American spies in China. It would be just full-blown ignorant to think that we don't. We have spies in China. We have spy balloons in China. We have satellites on China. Everything that China is doing to us, we do to China. And if you would like to see the actual breakdown of how this occurs, we will see now.
There's this house in this neighborhood in New Jersey that actually isn't a house. It's hard to see because it's behind this gate. But
and so, yes, China, like every other country in the world, monitors your IP and watches every website that you go to. 57 different world powers watch every IP in the world and every website that you go to. We have satellites. I don't believe privacy exists on planet Earth. Hot take. I don't believe it's just China. I believe 57 world powers have balloons flying over America. 57 different world powers. And this thing about China is xenophobic, especially when you see that 1 1/4 of America is Chinese. So sure, China's spying on us. We spy on China.
Got it from above.
No, there's no privacy on Earth. So when somebody brings up spying, I'm like, it's kind of like saying they drank tap water that day or something. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, 57 world countries probably ran fucking balloons through America this year. I really fundamentally believe this. And if it wasn't balloons, it was satellites. And if it wasn't satellites, it was people. And if it wasn't people, it was cable lines connecting our countries that were being subverted by China.
See that it's actually a really
And America. And Britain, and India, and Asia, and, you know, Japan, and everybody.
large building.
What's up,
Kind of
MJ
looks
Ripshots? I apologize for kicking you, as I apologize to the other 5 people in the channel that I kicked. I am terribly sorry that I summarily kicked you based off the fact that I am being attacked by somebody, and I don't know if that somebody has a crew, okay? And I understand that that's not fair to you, and I'm sorry for what I did, and I would cry if it didn't make me look like a fucking pussy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry for treating you that way, like I'm sorry to everyone else here, and I'm sorry I treated my community like that, but I don't know who's in the crew of the person who is attacking me, and it makes me kind of feel like you're sieged in a castle with like 2 different entrances, and you're really scared of your back entrance getting invaded by a crowd of people, by a crowd of Huns. So I tend to ban crowds if I suspect that they're together. And I mistakenly believed that you and several other people in this channel right now were with somebody that has been attacking and threatening my family. So I summarily kicked pretty much everybody. And I am loath to admit this, but I am not a liar. I didn't feel I needed to admit this, but I'm not a liar, and in an attempt to gain your respect back, I will speak to you like an adult man and own up to my fucking mistakes and tell you what my reasons were and apologize for them, and I am sorry. And we're going to move on now, and thank you for your loyalty and coming back. I don't know why you would. Thank you for doing so, etc., etc. I'm under attack, yada, yada, yada.
like a warehouse. It has dozens of
Okay, thank you.
air conditioning units, and it's just sitting here among a sea of
Like, one of the things, like, okay, I'll play a different video later too. We're gonna play one of my favorite streamers, Crusader. She the CSGO hottie, right? Crusader on security, right? And one of her big things is if you suspect 1, it's probably 10. And so she talked about mods and administration and all this. It's admin, right? Or safety. It's like safety, I believe, is what she talked about. I am never safe for any of this stuff, right? And all this, but she had a whole problem with this because she was in the CSGO community, and the CSGO community pretty much torched her alive. They were like sending her death threats. They couldn't handle the fact that a girl was beating them and all this. So anyways, you know, so I learned a lot of my security tips from her, and one of the ones that she said that really stuck with me, and I'll tell you it's caused me some problems, however, was that you should just summarily ban if you suspect anybody at all. She was like, if you suspect anything at all, just ban and don't think about it afterwards. And this is something you can do when you've got like 20,000 viewership safely. But honestly, when you're 5 viewership and you kick the 5 fucking viewership, what did you do? You had 5 viewership that took you 2 years to build it. Then you kicked the 5 viewership. And if you're good enough, they're going to come back. But I mean, like, that's the actual logic and reality here. And that's all I feel like I need to say. So we're going to start this over because what he's saying at the start of this video, guys, is a big epiphany that he's going to drop like a bomb. So I need you guys to pay attention for about 90 seconds, right?
There's this house in this neighborhood in New Jersey that actually isn't a house. It's hard to see because it's behind this gate, but if you look at it from above, you'll see that it's actually a really large building. Kind of looks like a warehouse. It has dozens of air conditioning units, and it's just sitting here among a sea of ordinary suburban homes.
And we always suspected this shit, but then you see it live and you're like, oh, okay. And so what this turns out to be, he's going to say it, but I'm going to ruin the spoil. I'm going to spoil the surprise. We have cables running under the ocean to every other country.
All of this.
And that's being spied on the most. Our most important data is being run under cables to other countries, and China done tapped that like 40 years ago and knows every single fucking rape, every murder, every fucking everything every American politician's ever done, the NSA prison project. China's got all that because apparently we pipelined all that to the UK and places like, you know, Germany and shit like this, right? People in the North American Alliance, or whatever it is, or with NATO, right? So we sent our NATO allies really crucial information through pipes that run under the fucking ocean. And I never knew this till Johnny Harris fucking blew it for me. I had no idea that this was a thing. Yeah, he like just dropped it like a bomb. And yeah, it turns out China's been done spying on that for like 50 fucking years. And so we don't need to care about the fucking, you know, the fucking spy balloon. We do that to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. I care about them tapping the cables.
This is just a facade.
And then this is what the entire intelligence community is worried about. This is what all the conspiracy theorists kind of have on the tip of their tongue but don't understand yet.
Hiding this massive building that is a landing station for AT&T.
And that's all the attention that you needed to pay. I think I covered it, but we're going to cover this further. And you'll understand that, yeah, China's got weather balloons. Who gives two shits about that? I don't give two shits about that. When you understand that they tap the cables, I don't give two shits about that balloon. And I think it's kind of an ignorant, sort of scary, like xenophobic thing to even point a finger at China even, because the entire fucking known world has been spying on everything America knows for the last fucking 50 years or something like this. And this is true.
The place where these massive undersea cables...
Massive undersea cables, and that's what they look like, and it's a reality, and it's not some fucking YouTuber lie.
The world hit the eastern seaboard. We now know for certain that the US government spies on those cables with the help of companies like AT&T. And according to a leaked map from the NSA, they process all the data that they collect somewhere in New Jersey in a facility called Pine.
Yeah. Oh, no, I never believed that we were safe. I fundamentally believe that anybody could land on any of our shores, Hop. Go to the beach, and you'll understand a problem, and a real fundamental problem, right? There was a time that the Nazis came to American soil. Were you aware about this? They took a submarine and landed men on the beach of Long Island. And they drove south all the way to Florida with the intention of dropping off saboteurs to blow up railway lines and airports. And this was in 1943 during World War II, when our security was the most tight it's ever fucking been. They absolutely did this, yeah.
The last serious territory had been during the War of 18.
Sorry.
Hitler's end came in a bunker.
So yeah, so you know we're gonna cover this. Yeah. Then the smart people do know about this. Yeah. So like I really do fundamentally do not care if people fly through our airspace. We don't own the fucking airspace. Now, if a machine of war gets anywhere near a major city, I'm gonna want my air traffic controllers to tell me. But I mean, like, I really don't fucking care if Russia flies balloons over Montana. As long as they don't drop bombs out of them, I don't think we really own this country. I think the Native Americans might have somehow owned this country or something. Maybe, like, you know, hundreds of years ago. But I don't think we really even own the country. I'm so, like, when I say anarchist, I actually kind of mean it. I don't really believe we even really own the country. So to say that other humans on this planet can't fly over us is sort of a degree of, like, straight up fascism that I just don't really agree with. And I really fundamentally believe in being able to walk through your fucking international neighborhood and look in through the windows, kind of. I kind of do. Not not international peeping toms, but just I don't really care if China flies planes over America, and I don't care if America flies planes over China or balloons or anything, and I don't care if they spy on our people as long as they don't land here. As long as they don't land here, I don't believe there's privacy left on planet Earth.
As the enemy forces closed in,
Yeah.
and the war drew
Hello, Skycat. What's up? Or, sorry. Hello, Danny E. What's up? There will be wars like there in Ukraine, but there will never be a war in China or America or Russia. No, there has been China and America and Russia war, and there will be again.
to an end. But
There will be again. We did not learn our lessons from it. Here we are, 100 years later, and Russia's in Ukraine trying to spark off World War fucking III. With the fucking NATO alliance. 100 years later, and you think we'd learn from our fucking mistakes. Fucking Putin.
the days leading up to the grim finish, the Nazi madman still had big plans.
I am not a fan of Hitler in any way or fucking form. Man was a piece of genocidal, fucking racist, anti-disabled, anti-gay, about the worst fucking bigot that you can think of. Mind riddled with syphilis worms. Disgusting, riddled, syphilis mind. He liked hookers in the war. He liked hookers. We know this about him. And he absolutely had a deranged syphilis brain. And that's how it manifested too, didn't it? Fuck Hitler. Fuck Nazis. Fuck right-wingers. Fuck bigots. Fuck anybody who stands with them. Fuck anybody who likes Hitler. Fuck anybody who stood by and watched that shit happen, like Milgrams. Fuck anybody who rolls with him.
He wasn't satisfied with the possibility of conquering all of Europe. He
Simple
wanted to
enough.
take the war to the United States. Large as the conflict was, the United States
Anti-Semitic, genocidal, World War III causing, nuclear war causing, fucking billions of dollars lost, millions and millions of lives, fucking Holocaust asshole, can suck a dick, and anybody who likes him or wants to do anything that he did, fuck him, and fuck anybody who rolls with him.
was relatively untouched on its homeland. While it had suffered a devastating blow to its fleet at Pearl Harbor, the mainland had been barely touched. In fact, the United States was almost never invaded during the war. The last serious strike on its territory had been during the War of 1812, when the British forces invaded through their territory in Canada. And the only time they
That's the enemy, the Fourth Reich,
conflict on their own soil since was the
the Do-Nothing Congress,
Civil War, when they fought themselves.
taught by Hans Scharf himself.
But the United States had dealt Hitler devastating blows in Europe, and he was determined to make them pay. But it wasn't always that way. In the early years of the Nazi assault on Europe, Hitler had other plans. The United States at a distance. It hadn't been long since the First World War. There was no hunger in the U.S. for another European conflict. When the Nazis took over, they actually had a significant amount of support in the United States. Groups like Friends of War. There was no hunger in the U.S. for another European conflict. When the Nazis took over, they actually had a significant amount of support in the United States. When the Nazis took over, they actually had a significant amount of support in the United States. When the Nazis took over, they actually had a significant amount of support in the United States. When the Nazis took over, they actually had a significant amount of support in the United States. Groups like Friends of the New Germany and German-American Bund played on a combination of isolationism and anti-Semitism to paint the Nazis as ideal friends of America. And then Hitler invaded Poland, and that largely went out the window. A new group, America First, emerged and portrayed the war in Europe as none of America's.
So we screwed up support of the Nazis with isolationism. Because it kind of is the same thing, really. Isolationism is support of the Nazis. Or was, excuse me. Isolationism was, in a way, a support of the Nazis because, and this is a real cold hard fact about this, you can not want foreign wars like skycat.live is all you want. You can really be an anti-war person, real hippie, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, in the end, isolationism, if there's some horrible, horrible, horrible fucking thing going on, isn't really feasible for an international community in an international neighborhood. If someone's getting murdered a couple of houses over and you don't do something, how long till the murderer's in your house? And so, as isolationist as I am, fuck foreign wars, fuck anybody who told us to go to Afghanistan, fuck Afghanistan, excuse me, don't say, I love Afghanistan, excuse me, fuck the war on Afghanistan, and fuck anybody who ever pitched it, and anybody who rolled with them, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, and I mean this too. Like, you know, war in Europe is none of our fucking business. War in the Middle East is none of our fucking business, right? And isolationism is, in a way, full-blown complicit. It's like complicitism. It's accomplice. It's like basically accomplice. If you stand by while Hitler murders your Jewish friend a couple of houses over, right? How long till Hitler's up murdering you in your house? And I really don't know fundamentally how well isolationism actually did work for us. And I don't like war, but I don't know about isolationism that much. Because I look at what's going on in the Ukraine, and I don't know if I trust CNN. We'll do. I think CBS would be okay, but let's do.
It's a growing alliance that's sparking concern from the U.S. and its allies. In his first trip outside of North Korea since the pandemic, Kim Jong-un met Vladimir Putin.
Oh, that's always good. This, you know what this reminds me of, right? When I saw Obama shaking Baby Bush's hand at Bohemian Grove on Alex Jones's like leaked video that got taken off the internet. I'll never forget watching George Bush on the left and Obama on the right shaking hands at Bohemian Grove. It was an unholy alliance then, just like this is an unholy alliance now. And this is why I don't like Democrats, and this is why I don't like these guys, and this is why I don't like Republicans or anybody that rolls with any of these weird tribalist people.
In Russia today.
They're suit dummies. They pretty much look and think and act like pretty much everything that I hate. And I'm sorry, but yeah, this unholy alliance scares the living fucking shit out of me. Because, man, of the two people on the fucking planet, those are the two that you really just don't want to see shaking hands. Bohemian Grove? Oh, yeah, you know, I've never seen Eyes Wide Shut. That's the Val Kilmer one with, from Stanley Kubrick, I think. But I didn't like modern Stanley Kubrick. So I never gave Eyes Wide Shut a chance, and I will do so.
They each had something the other wants. Stephanie Sy reports
I think the difference between How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb or Doctor Strangelove and something like Eyes Wide Shut is so pronounced that it's difficult for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Or something like The Shining compared to Eyes Wide Shut. And I don't know what Eyes Wide Shut got, but let's go look. New Kubrick. I think I kind of struggle with that a little bit. It was an erotic mystery psychological drama, which was also kind of something that, and also I don't like these actors. I like Sidney Pollack and Madison Eagleton and Todd Field and Lily Sobieski, but I really, really, really don't like Tom Cruise. I mean, I'm ambivalent about Nicole Kidman. My issue with Nicole Kidman is and with Tom Cruise is I've only ever seen one movie that I liked that Tom Cruise ever did, ever. which was Born on the 4th of July. And I would posit that Born on the 4th of July is essentially, it's like you like America. It's kind of like most people like Forrest Gump. It's because they like America, right? So I would say the one movie of his that I could stand was Born on the 4th of July. She never did make a movie that I could fucking stand. As in, watch all the way through. And so reality is that these people are universally loved. But I cannot frankly think of a piece of work that either of them has done in 50 years that I liked. So you can see why I didn't go look at Eyes Wide Shut. And this is incredibly insulting to these wonderful actors and actresses. And am I saying they're bad actors and actresses? No. They're just not my actors or actresses. I can't stand either one of these actors. Can't stand them. Couldn't stand anything they've ever done. So, yep. Oh, Kubrick? Oh, yeah. Kubrick is one of my favorite directors and made like 10 of my top favorite 20 movies. Kubrick, I know like the back of my fucking hand. If we look at the Kubrick filmography, you have nothing but classics until Eyes Wide Shut. So just keep, I mean, and I'm sure Eyes Wide Shut is a classic too, but I mean, I don't know if it's like 2001 A Space Odyssey or The Shining or A Clockwork Orange or Full Metal Jacket or Doctor Strangelove or Barry Lyndon or Lolita or Paths of Glory or Spartacus or The Killing or well, in the room, no, and this was a stinker too. I don't believe Room 237 and Eyes Wide Shut. Everyone's got stinkers, right? Of all the Kubrick movies, I don't think Room 237 or Eyes Wide Shut were good. And I'm sorry. I think there was enough other amazingly good Academy Award winning films that he did to where I can think that, you know, that Room 237 and Eyes Wide Shut weren't that good. Okay? I am very, very faithful to Kubrick. I've seen each and every one of these movies at least like 10 times or something like that. Each and every one of these. Now, I never did watch Barry Lyndon 10 times. I saw Barry Lyndon for the first time recently. Barry Lyndon ended up being one of my favorite fucking movies of all fucking time. The story of Barry Lyndon is like the most interesting story I've ever seen in a movie. It's the most interestingly, most believingly written story of just like swashbuckling suspense that I've ever seen. And it's and of all, and I didn't know about Barry Lyndon until I was like 38 years old or something like this. But of all these movies, I think actually Barry Lyndon sort of had the most value, short of Doctor Strangelove, which was about war. So you got to look at Kubrick, because Full Metal Jacket was important too. And a lot of people will say Full Metal Jacket, but my problem is right around 1990, Kubrick got too old to direct. He was just too old. He was like 70 years old. So at that point, we were looking for these like amazing blockbusters out of him. But I mean, the man was like 77. He wasn't gonna give us another Shining. He just didn't have it in him. It's old age, right? So I think it's okay to dislike Room 203 and Eyes Wide Shut if you universally love and religiously follow everything else the artist did. I think it is okay. So and then we get off Eyes Wide Shut, because it's, I mean, I'm sorry, it's just like when you drop Kubrick, Eyes Wide Shut is not the one that you drop.
On what that would be and the ramifications the deal would have for Ukraine.
But now, Eyes Wide Shut is probably commentary. Now, are you wrong, Hop? No, you are not wrong. His movie probably was might have been about. But see, Bohemian Grove is a secret clandestine meeting place in California where the world's cultural elite meet. And you know, and this is Joe Rogan, which I'm sure is a creditable conversation. I don't want to do the whole lunatic fringe conversation. I really don't. But we're going to go look at the pictures. which I'm struggling with finding. Gotta go see the pictures of Bohemian Grove. Sorry. And so when I mentioned the Baby Bush, you know, Bohemian Grove is a restricted 2,700 acre campground at 20,601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio, California, United States, belonging to a private San Francisco based gentlemen's club known as the Bohemian Club. Now, the Bohemian Club is always hidden right in plain sight. They were all, you know, it's Reagan and all the Republicans who sent us to war and all the poverty in Afghanistan war bullshit and, you know, the 3,000 deaths in 9/11 and all this. George Bush and Ronald Reagan, most of those guys. There's Nixon, Reagan, George Bush, Cheney, all these guys, you know, all the guys who ruined the world and this country. And that's Bohemian Grove. And all Bohemian Grove originally was an all-male membership, including artists and musicians. And it was like Yale's chorus line club. They sung, as I recall, they sung barbershop quartet. They were like a barbershop quartet club. And they all ended up like running the free world, just incidentally, kind of, because they were all connected. And Bohemian Grove is their clubhouse where they all meet with, you know, prominent business leaders, government officials, Snowden, presidents, media executives, Obama, people like that. Maybe people who aren't necessarily on their same political spectrum, but still buy little girls from them and, you know, fight oil wars for them and sell them arms and that kind of thing. So members may invite guests to the Grove. Guests may be invited to the Grove for either the spring jinx in June or the main July encampment. Bohemian Club members can schedule private day use events at the Grove anytime it is not being used for club-wide purposes. You know, so it's like a cigar bar, right? It's a cigar bar for the people who fuck children and Republican right-wing run the country into the ground and cause COVID and 9/11 and Reaganomics and war in Afghanistan, that crew. And this is a picture of them. All of it is reality. It's not some hidden thing. They don't care if you, I mean, they care if they're in your clubhouse because they're scared that you're an assassin, right? So they bust all the media that comes in there. They don't care if the media shows who they are at all. We know this about them. Ronald Reagan doesn't care if his Bohemian Grove shot is out. He doesn't care. I mean, it doesn't make him look good, but he doesn't care either. You know, he really doesn't care. And we know this about them. They don't care. So, but what they do care about is assassins, right? Now that's weird. I could have sworn that I had. Here we go. I could have sworn that I removed that. There we go. Stop talking to 9 people, you delusional weird person that doesn't have reality. Yeah. I'll stop talking to 9 people. Yeah. And, you know, after 40 years of membership, the men earn old guard status, giving them reserved seating, free little girls, and the Grove's daily talks, you know, as well as other perks like, ancient pagan rituals, little girls, or little boys, hookers, cocaine, liquor, vice, adrenochrome, gambling, cigars, Cuban cigars, ancient 60-year-old whiskey, Lagavulin, cigar club, you know? And Herbert Hoover, all of the Republicans were pretty much the leadership. It's Republican leadership. They run the free world. Yeah, I would say. Republicans run the free world. It doesn't matter if Joe Biden's president or not. Anybody who talks shit about Joe Biden is a goddamn fucking American moron with no clue about what the fuck's going on, because Joe Biden is so far from what the actual reality is that anybody talking about Joe Biden, you can just detect the brain dead from 50 miles away. Anybody even talking about Joe Biden, I'm doing it right now because, you know, I like Joe Biden, but I'm saying Joe Biden has nothing to do with the leadership of the free world. And anybody talking about him or trying to attack him is just a clueless asshole with no concept of any basic politics or reality or understanding of the real world or any of this, right? So anybody attacking Sleepy Joe or whatever, and I don't believe in calling him Sleepy Joe, I'm just saying that's the shit that they say. You can tell the tribalist morons that really don't have much IQ by how offended they get by what I'm saying. But anybody who talks about Joe Biden, that's kind of like complaining about Baby Shark or something. It's like saying America sucks because of that Baby Shark song. It's so disconnected from the actual fucking reality that you know, when you attack a placeholder like that, that's just trying to kind of granddaddy hold the position away from these people, you know, he's not good, he's not bad, he didn't do anything like Obama. I mean, Obama got healthcare, but I mean, healthcare, believe it or not, Obamacare started with Romney, which was a Republican, if you recall. Obamacare was not a Democratic push. That was Republicans pushed that for 20 years. When the Democrats finally stopped fighting it, and were like, okay, cool, we'll do socialized healthcare, they were like, fuck Obamacare, fuck Obamacare, fuck Obamacare, fuck Obamacare. But no, Obamacare comes from Romney, a Republican. And it was so weird, and it's so far from reality as the tribalist idiots who watch CNN all goddamn day just prattle on about Trump and Biden all day. You're like, wow. I mean, that has so little to do with the leadership of the known world, the presidency, that I can't help you if you're that ignorant. I can't help you. I'm sorry, if the picture doesn't show it to you, if the reality doesn't work for you as I put it in your face, you know what I'm saying? I can't help you. You know, it's a reality. The wiki is a wiki for a reason. I mean, it's like it's a reality. It's not some lie from some, you know, truther or some title thing that the right wing attacked or whatever. This is just the actual reality. When I hear somebody attacking Joe Biden, I'm like, wow, you like kicking Grandpa often? Grandpa's just trying to hold the position away from the cultural elite who buy little girls from the Lolita Express and cause foreign oil wars and fuck our children and do nothing Congress, you know, and Reaganomics and stuff. And you're like, oh, I mean, why are we talking about Trump? Why? I'm sorry, but I never did ever understand why we ever even spoke about Trump. He's so far from the actual issue. And this is what makes him honestly just as okay as Biden. He's like a grandpa trying to hold a placeholder position away from the cultural demon bankers. And anybody who attacks either of them is just basically a clueless asshole who's so far removed from the reality of the world that I'm not sure they you know, I'm not sure that you could call any of these elections legitimate, because I'm not sure the people understand who it is that I'm not sure they understand who it is that they're voting for, and I would posit that like 98% of America is not represented.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And I say this many times, and I'll say it some more. Give me that lighter.
You got it, Fred.
Alex Jones, he's made some mistakes and some big ones.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. He's made some bad mistakes. That Sandy Hook bullshit.
Also,
fuck him.
Actually expose some.
And I mean, fuck anybody who rolls with him at that point, because it's like,
shit.
Come on, man. Those victims, man. I don't give a fuck what you think. Those victims. Nobody should have treated the victims like that.
And he owns up to the mistakes he's made.
Yeah, he owned up to it. Thank fucking God. He's at least a human being, unlike the demon bankers in that photo we just looked at.
They're not good. He doesn't think they're good. There's a thing about.
Yeah, he knew.
Finding conspiracies everywhere.
Now, I've never seen this. I promise you, I've never seen this.
That's not good for your brain. I really believe this.
But I believe I basically did the whole soliloquy myself before he did it on this video here.
I think that if you go looking for those things and that's all you look for, and you look for them all the time, you can get real paranoid and real crazy. And
yeah, I really don't care. Don't give living two shits. Didn't care two shits not 5 years ago about Trump or Biden. Those are grandfathers trying to hold the position from the global cultural elite fucking us to death. To quote South Park, you know? So
there's also a bunch of people that are trying to stop you from doing that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I just really fundamentally believe this. Like, I believe the sun's gonna rise.
Because you do expose some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking about Epstein a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago. He was saying there's a fucking island, and they
Yep.
take all these rich politicians
Yep.
and some.
It was weird for me because, okay, like 19 years later, the world went crazy on conspiracy theory. But we were doing this shit in 2001. And I'll tell you why. When did 9/11 happen?
Celebrities, and they bang these kids. And I was like, come on. He was telling me this a long
time ago.
So
I was walking around in 2005 saying that most of the world's cultural elite are fucking children. That was 2005.
well, he's also the one who told me about Bohemian Grove. Well, I actually watched it. That's like,
Yeah, he probably shared the video with Joe Rogan. I've seen the video of Obama and baby Bush shaking hands. People don't believe me, but it fucking happened. And at that point, I never trusted the Republican or the Democratic Party ever the fuck again. They're the same thing. They're the same people. They're the same do-nothing Congress. They run the world. They have all the money. They have all the power. They have the lobby. They shit on us all the time. They commit us to Afghanistan in 20 years. They're the same exact Republicrat party. They do this tribalist bullshit to snare us up all the fucking time. Oh, Biden, Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden, Trump, blue, red, up, down, left, right, civil war, BLM, all this stupid ass tribalism shit, just to stir the pot enough to so that we hopefully forget about that time that George Bush and fucking Obama shook hands at Bohemian Grove. But nah, some of us just can't unsee it. You know, we can't really unsee it. Never did trust him after that. Never did vote for him. And we let someone else vote for us at this point. We're not represented.
This tape was actually made before I met him. So he went and snuck in to this place where like former presidents go.
Yeah. I saw this in like 2008 something. And then I never saw it again because it's off the internet. I mean, like off. I mean, like I'm sure that exists somewhere. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it exists on many hard drives, but finding a place on the internet where you can see the video, even from Alex Jones himself, is, I would say, frankly, close to impossible. And there is a reason because of that.
The photograph of it's Ronald Reagan with.
There's a reason that happens. Excuse me, I misspoke.
Herbert Walker Bush and a couple other people all standing around,
jacking off into a coffin with baby Bush inside.
And it's like, these are the people that used to hang out at this place, and they would put on robes, and they would worship an owl god, and they would burn an effigy, and they're playing.
It's not an owl god, it's Lucifer. Lucifer. You know, being of light. They think the true God is Lucifer. Sick, satanic shit, right? Another name for Satan, yeah, but I mean, also, it means light. It sucks, but I mean, it does. It means light. It means light bringing. Morning star. Venus. In the Latin, it means light bringing, right? They literally believe that Lucifer is God and that everything is a big death cycle for Lucifer. And they have to worship something. So the jokers at Yale made an owl effigy. But I mean, Lucifer doesn't have an image. You might think a bifurcated tail or, you know, pitchfork or whatever. But no, Lucifer was an angel cast out of heaven, in at least in the canon, you know? At least in the Bible. So, I mean, really, they believe that Lucifer, the angel, is actually the one true God. And I mean, and so and he doesn't know. It really bothers me that he's not talking about this. But they're not worshiping an owl god, you fucking idiot. They're worshiping Lucifer. It's called the Luciferian Doctrine. And I'm sorry, but yeah, it's a belief system that venerates the essential characteristics that are affixed to Lucifer, the name of the various mythological and religious figures associated with the planet Venus. These are pagans who worship the planet Venus, not God, who believe that Lucifer is the manifestation of God, and it manifests itself through the light of Venus. And they gather under the light of Venus every 4 years or whatever. They jack off into a coffin to perform blood rites or whatever the fuck. And they hail Lucifer.
And Alex snuck in and made video footage of this shit. And then no one's denying that it's real. This really did happen.
Like none of these guys have ever come out and said, "Oh, it's bullshit, stop lying." No. They're like, "Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we do that shit." They don't care. They're like, "Oh yeah, we run the world." I mean, yeah. What did you think it was? We run the lobby. We run the politicians. We run Bohemian Grove. We fuck little girls at Bohemian Grove and smoke cigars and shit. Yeah, oh yeah, we bring the teenage hookers in all the time, And it's disgusting. But that's who they are, and they don't hide it. They've never hid it. Luciferian forbid them to, or whatever. Lucifer forbid them to hide. And you understand the death cult that's taken over the government.
In with these bankers and former...
Lucifer forbids them to hide or whatever. The devil doesn't hide. The devil has contracts and shit. Like the Do-Nothing Congress.
Presidents, and they're dressed like druids.
Yes.
And some guy brings over something that it's an effigy that's supposed to be a body, a wrapped up effigy. It's also a bunch of...
Yeah, they can't kill people or perform sacrificial rites, or Alex Jones will prosecute them, right? So they do effigies, like owl gods and stuff like this, instead of the trilateral, which is what they actually believe in, which is Lucifer. And so you'll see stuff like the Trilateral Commission, which is, an entire membership meets annually to, this is not what I want. No. Now, if I go to the Trilateral Commission website, I'm going on several governments' watch lists. So just understand, but I don't care. I don't believe in privacy anymore. The Trilateral, I believe in people having it. I don't believe that I have it, is what I meant to say there. I believe in privacy. I just don't believe that I have it. Is that good? I think that's safe enough for me to say without having some crazy person attack me or something, right? I don't believe that I have any privacy. Is that a weird belief? Anyways, the Trilateral Commission is a non-governmental international organization aimed at fostering closer cooperation between Japan, Western Europe, and North America. Now notice that Russia and China are not mentioned. And so every time that somebody steps in my channel and they say, China has infiltrated America, I think, oh, trilateral politics are such that China and Russia are not in NATO. So, yeah, the Trilateral really wants you to believe that Russia and China are the enemy. But again, how many percentages of America are Chinese? And we get 23.74%. 10.3%. They are the Russian Americans. We love them. We love them like our brothers, just like our Chinese. We love our Chinese and Japanese and all of our people of all of our wonderful melting pot. We love all of our brothers of all descents who came together as the world's child to make America. And so you might say that 36% of America isn't Russian and Chinese and hate on them and act all scared of them. Like the Trilateral wants you to. Yeah. Because notice, Russia and China aren't here in this sentence, are they? Somewhere along the lines, the Russia and the China, they just didn't really like the Lucifers. They don't like the Lucifers. I don't really like them either. And so we got in some tussles with them. A little bit of Cold War, a little bit of paranoia and espionage and spying, a little bit of World War II, a little bit of this and that, spicy chicken fucking curry. And it was founded in July 1973, principally by American banker, demon banker. Really, there should be a word here. Luciferian demon banker and philanthropist David Rockefeller, an internationalist. A political principle that advocates greater political or economic cooperation among states and nations. This is somebody who believes that all of the world should unite for the space race. Lucifers aren't stupid. They're just dangerous and scary. So the Lucifers aren't stupid. They can see the space, and they can see what the space means to us, and they can see that the racism isn't productive. So they go and they form the Trilateral Commission. They formed the International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, which for about 15 years every punker in the world marched against. You might not know what this is, but I spent 15 years marching against the IMF, which is the Demon Banker Fund. You can call it the IMF, but I call it the DBF, which is, don't be fucking getting it twisted, right? It's the DBF. It's the Demon Banker Fund. Works to achieve sustainable growth and prosperity for all of its 190 member countries. It's the world's bank. What they really mean is it's the Lucifer's bank. And these are the connections with your average Bohemian Grove right wing. It must be noted. But Hillary can be, Bill Clinton can be a 45th level fucking Freemason as well. And is. Hillary can run the Council of Foreign Relations, the CFR. Know your enemy. The CFR is an independent, which means it's a rogue syndicate. That's not good when it's independent, right? Nonpartisan, that's not good. It means rogue syndicate. Council on Foreign Relations. It's basically a think tank of the Lucifers that tells us what to do with our politics on the day-to-day. When Biden or Trump wakes up, he calls, Trump doesn't call the CFR, Cheney calls the CFR. Or whatever, or Stone, or Stone. Stone probably called the CFR, I would say. Somebody like Cheney or Stone calls the CFR every day, and they say, well, what should Trump do today? What should Biden do today? And the CFR thinks about it, and they think tank it, and they're like, okay, cool. And you'll remember the CFR from Hillary running the mothership, talking about how the United States will take over the entire world, and the mothership and such, the aliens or whatever the Lucifers have or whatever it is, I don't know. But
whether in Latin America,
but there's Hillary, beloved Hillary, that the Democrats all voted for in 2016. Pretty much powwowing with the Lucifers, trying to tell us what to do. And I never trusted her. Don't like her. Don't like her husband. Don't like Trump. Don't like Biden. Don't like Cheney. Don't like the Republicans. Don't like the Democrats. Don't like the Lucifers. Don't like anybody that rolls with them. Fuck anybody who rolls with them.
Or Lebanon, Iran.
This is Skycat's fuck everybody who rolls with them skit. Fuck everybody who rolls with them.
Or Liberia. Those who are inspired by democracy, who understand that democracy is about
yes,
more than
important question, Danny. What's up? Sorry if I ignore you, but I'm on a soliloquy because I used to do this on stage as a punk singer, but now I do it here as a streamer. Sorry.
Election.
And I don't like being interrupted because I was a lead singer, and so it's like, no, you've got to be quiet while I do my song. You know, it's so Nazi. It's kind of Nazi and fascist. It's like, no, you got to be quiet and wait for me to finish my Nazi speech. Nah, you know? I'm so sorry. Dog or cat? Absolutely cat. Cat, and I'll tell you why. A cat will never, and I mean never make you go outside when it's 5 degrees out and walk for 4 blocks. A cat will just never do that to you. A cat will cuddle you as you're waking up and purr for you and, you know, rub its whiskers all over your face and such, right? And the dog will do the same. But where the difference is the dog requires a lot of physical labor. The cat requires changing the food and water every day, scooping the litter box, and cuddling. Cat is superior.
This is my first attempt at a
It's like clockwork.
video.
Every time.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. So I'm just
No,
gonna start.
I had Scottish Folds for 36 years until a man tried to kill me and my ex-girlfriend, so I had to give my cat away.
Talking about what I like.
I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just want to hug all of them, but I can't hug every cat. Can't hug every cat. So anyway, I am a cat lover and I love to run. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about cats again. I really love cats. Think about cats again and again and again and again and again. I think about how many don't have a home and how I should have them. I think about how cute they are and the whiskers and their nose. And I love them and I want them to, and I want them in a basket and I just want a little bow ties. I just love them. And I want them to be on a rainbow and in my bed, and I just want us to roll around.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
I love cats. I like every type of cat. I just want to hug all of them, but I can't hug every cat. Can't hug every cat. So anyways, I am a cat lover and I love to run. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about cats again. I really love cats. Every cat. Can't hug every cat. Can't hug every cat. Smo yo ho. So we get rid of this and we go when we hop across.
It
And,
must also protect minority rights and press freedom, develop strong, competent, and independent judiciaries, legislatures, and
judges that are independent of the public, that just put you in jail and kill you, that just don't have any connection to the public because they're putting the public in jail and killing them.
executive agencies.
Executive agencies that don't have a connection to the public, independent think tanks and such, like the CFR.
And commit.
And just commit to not being the public, just absolutely not being the public. Definitely not the public. Somebody who's better than the public, who will put the public in prisons and kill them.
For democracy to
Prison
deliver
industrial
these
complex,
are the
war on drugs, opioid crisis, COVID.
people who will find that Americans are their friends, not
Americans are their friends,
adversaries.
not their adversaries. We aren't spying on you with cable lines or anything like that. No. We're not spying on you with cable lines. No.
Sticks in a blanket, but it's like shaped like a body.
Yeah.
And then they drop it on the fire, and they're all worshiping an owl god.
Why is
No,
that
they're worshiping Lucifer.
bad?
Imagine if you saw those, if that's what your business is, just finding those things. How
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah, like, I'm sorry, when you see it, you're like, well, there's a bunch of cultural elite jacking off into a coffin, shaking each other's hands afterwards, and going back to their governmental positions the next day. And you see it, and you're like, yeah, I don't believe that's Photoshop. Don't think Photoshop could do that. I don't think Hollywood could do that. I think what I'm seeing is reality, and I never trusted him again. And that was 2000 and fucking, I don't know, 5? That was, fuck, it's been 18 years, I mean, yeah, 18 years since I trusted my government. 18 years.
You get.
First of all, wait.
Then you add in vodka and head wounds.
Yeah, well, vodka, head wounds, little girls, and adrenochrome, and all types of shit, dude.
Wait, hold on.
You're playing New World, and I'm playing Old World. Aw. So, I'm not going to stay on here long. I just want to see the performance of New World with my 64 gigabytes of RAM. So, let's go see. Ooh, so, very high, sure. Where do you stand on graphics, baby? Very high, very high. Where do I stand on graphics? Very high, baby. Where do I stand on, graphics? Very high. Or no, I don't need yours to show up, yes, yeah. So, sure, I guess. Rabbit! Rabbit, guys! Rabbit! 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 Aw. Look how many 60s I have, guys. Look at how many like 60s I have, guys. Or I don't know, it's like 3. It's like 3. I have like 3 60s, yeah. I forgot about this. Yeah, Isabella. It's not that one, it's this one. This is my main. I play so many MMOs that I can't keep my characters straight. That's how you know you have a crippling MMO. Oh, really? Okay. So,